Hello everybody and welcome to FM Scout. I'm Mischievous Rogue and today we've got another manager experiment on the channel. Before we dive into today's episode, I'd just like to point in the direction of my channel, Mischievous Rogue, where I'm currently playing as Glasgow Rangers in my third season. There's also a mixture of experiments and club guides in the channel, so if you could check that out after this, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But let's dive straight into the episode. So, a lot of media speculation linking Frank de Boer with the Rangers job. So, here at the FM Scout team we thought, why not put Frank de Boer in the Rangers job and let's see how he gets on. A lot of Rangers fans are clamouring for Frank de Boer to take over in real life, and you never know, it might happen, but I highly doubt it. I hope so as a Rangers fan. It would be good for Scottish football. I got a little boost in the arm. So, Frank de Boer at Rangers. 4-1-2-3 formation, DM wide. He's a nice strong controlling formation. He prefers a passing style. His coaching style is defending. He's got a nice adventurous playing mentality. He likes to close down, marking style mixed, but he's also got a 4-1-2-3 as his sort of second preferred formation. His attributes are quite good. He's been the Ajax and Inter manager, so he's developed with a lot of youth and a lot of experience in Italy and in Holland. But his defending, 18, man management's 15, his tactical coaching is 16, working with youngsters 19, his mentals are standout as well, determination 19, his judging player ability is only 14 and his judging player potential is only 12, so that's got room to improve. His level of discipline 19 and motivating 17, and his tactical knowledge could do with a little bit better. It's only sitting at 11. He's got a determined personality, so he will push through to try and get results. He tends to spend a lot on youth signings. He signs as many youth players as he can. He uses young players in low priority cups, which is perfect in Scotland because we have the Ramsden's Cup or the Iron Brew Trophy in real life, where the under-20s are playing against the other teams in Scottish football. So Rangers Celtic youths actually get to compete in really good, down-to-earth, ground-holding football against sort of senior players. So it'll be really, really good for him, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in that cup. And he likes to fit players into his preferred tactic. He's got no tends not to at the moment, but you never know. As he goes on with Rangers, we'll see how that goes. So, the slight difference in this experiment is I've let Frank de Boer bring two members of staff with him who are his favourite members of staff. So if we go to Rangers staff, you can see that I have let him bring in Orlando Trustful, who was his assistant manager at Inter and Ajax. You can see he's got 17 defending, 17 adaptability, 20 level of discipline, but this is a favoured personnel of Frank, so I thought, why not, to further the experiment, let him bring in someone that he trusts. Also, I let him bring in his favourite head of youth development, Roberto Samadin. You can see his stats are absolutely fantastic. He's the new head of youth development, and Craig Mulholland has been knocked down to under-20s coach, but defending 16, man management 18, tactical 17, working with youngsters 20, his judging player ability and judging player potential 18-19, motivating 20 and tactical knowledge 17. This guy will find all the youth players that Big Frank can use and hopefully get them in the team and scout some of these Dutch, Italian, Scottish youngsters, and hopefully if Frank stays there for a long time, you'll see these players start to come through and become internationals. But Roberto Samadin, if you haven't heard of him, you've heard of him now, and I guarantee a lot of you will go out and try and sign him because he's a fantastic head of youth development. So what's going to happen now then is we are going to jump forward with Big Frank to the end of the transfer window in September. We're going to check out how he gets on with some of the games, and we're going to also see what players he brings in and what players he lets go. So let's jump forward now to the end of the transfer window. Okay, so it's the 24th September 2016, and De Boer's had a chance to play some games but also get in amongst the transfer market. And who's he brought in for Rangers and who's he let go? Well, Diego Poyet on a free transfer because he was linked with Rangers at the beginning of the season. He seems to be a popular player to sign on a free for most Rangers fans. He does get a lot of game time and he does turn out to be quite good. Who else has he got? Well, as I said, De Boer's got a passion for youth players because of Ajax's youth system in the past, so he believes, and quite rightly so, that youth is the future instead of spending a lot of money on transfers. So he signed on loan Jay Da Silva from Chelsea. Good player, can play all the way up the left and some in the middle. He's got the standout determination 18, acceleration 16. Everything else is sort of work on. His work rate is 13, determination 18, which means he will go up quite quickly if he gets game time. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, another youth product from Arsenal this time. Standouts is flair. He's got good acceleration 15, his technique 12, passing 13. He can play all the way up the right and in the centre. Then we've got Unai Bilbao from Athletic Bilbao, the 22-year-old. Again, standout is heading, good central defender. Needs to work on his sort of acceleration, which is 9, but again, I think he will come good. I've seen him play for Celtic in my save, and he does develop quite good. So again, an eye for youth. And Claude Ajapong. Okay, I apologise if I mispronounced that name, but this is him digging into his knowledge of the Italian market. Look at this guy, 18-year-old, and quite a lot of 12s, 13s, 14s in there. And work rate 11, determination 12. He'll slowly and gradually get good, but it's a good sign for Rangers. Good right back, probably to take place of Tavernier. So that's the signings there. And who's he let go? Well, Jason Crone's on loan to Albion Rovers to get some experience, and Josh Jeffries to Cowdenbeath. But he's let go the veteran Kenny Miller. I think Frank de Boer obviously wants to push that youth, and he obviously needs to free up some wages. So that's probably why he let Kenny Miller go. Let's jump into the Scottish Premiership. You can see Rangers are sitting second. They've played 6, won 4, drew 1, lost 1. Hearts sitting undefeated at the top of the league, and Celtic sitting and 8th. Well, I guarantee Celtic won't be there come the sort of end of the season or February. It's European football always hurts Celtic in the first season, but they always tend to come back. So I'll quickly show you some of the results that Rangers have been involved in. So they've been playing the League Cup, and they won obviously in penalties the first game against Inverness, and then it went a nice little undefeated streak until they hit Dundee in the league. They got beat 2-1 off them, and then recently they've just been beat off Hamilton Academicals 3-0. So a mixed bag of results for De Boer, but you can see standout players seem to be Windass and Waghorn, and Cranchart actually getting a game, and one of his signings, Jay De Silva, has actually scored. So at the moment in September, that's how De Boer is getting on. We're going to jump forward now till we hit the second winter transfer window to the February, and we'll see what players he's signed again, if any, and also where he's sitting in the league. So it's the end of the transfer window. It's the 2nd of February, and you can see in the league table De Boer's not doing the greatest on earth. They played 23 games. They're currently sitting in 4th, 4 points ahead of St Johnstone, who are in 5th, and he's lost 8 games, drew 5. But Celtic, as I said before, once they've got over the European hurdle, will top the tree. Top goal scorers you can see is Griffiths 11, Waghorn 9, and Doolan 9. So quite a good performance from the Rangers forward Waghorn. Obviously De Boers are using them well. So we can see, obviously sitting in 4th, he's still getting the grips of Scottish football, I think, hence the reason he's not doing as well as he should have. So who has he signed in the interim then? Well, remember the last player he signed on loan was Claude Ajapong. Again, I apologise if I pronounced that wrongly, but he's also made 2 other signings in the window. One on loan from Liverpool, Cameron Brannigan. A few of you will be familiar with him. Another youth prospect. Again, good sort of stats for a youngster, 20 years old. He can play in the middle, left or right, and he looks not bad prospect. He's already played a couple of games, 4 games, scored 1 assist, and he's already the man of the match. So hopefully De Boer continues to use him, and again gives him that sort of development feel, and you never know, he might be at Rangers again next season. And he's also signed Rhys Peggy from Falkirk for 21k, rising to 55k. Defensive midfielder, 17-year-old Scotsman. Not the greatest stats in the world, but obviously he's been recommended to De Boer, he's obviously signed him. But his first touch 14, tackling 14, technique 12, work rate 12, positioning 12, decisions 14, jump and reach 14. So not too bad. Obviously someone he sees for long term and a hot prospect. And he has played obviously a lot of under-20s games, and you can see he's played in the Ramsden's Cup, one competitive game. So that's definitely the positive of Scottish football. That Ramsden's Cup, the under-20s are playing competitive football. So really, really good to get your young players bloodied. Obviously depending how far they get in the competition. He's obviously let go Big Clint Hill, the other veteran, so he's obviously got in for the veterans, and he's let go Ursuen Mwanda, who I quite like, Ivory Coast youth player, but he's obviously let him go on a free transfer, doesn't agree. Results, you can see that they're through in the Cup. They beat Hibs 3-1, so that's good. They play Motherwell away in the Scottish Cup. They're out of the League Cup. Jason Holt's playing quite well, Barry Mackay's playing quite well, and I always see Martin Wycon scoring a lot of goals, but you can see some of the youth players, Ainsley Maitland-Miles getting a couple of goals, Ajapong, Diego Poyet getting a goal as well. So even Cranshaw's on the score sheet, and I don't rate Cranshaw in this game at all. And Jay De Silva scored earlier on the season, so they're doing not too bad. De Boer's got a lot of work to do, so we're going to jump forward now to see where he ends up at the end of his first season. Well, it didn't end too good for De Boer. He's still got a job, and Waghorn has finished top goal scorer with 18 league goals, but he finished 4th. 6 points behind Aberdeen and Hearts, which after a media prediction of 2nd, that's not the greatest start to his career. But 2nd place, can't argue that. Let's hope he's got a job next season where he can build on that. If we just quickly go in and see how they got on in the competitions. So they got knocked out in the 5th round by Motherwell in the Scottish Cup, and the League Cup, as we know, get knocked out by Hamilton Academical. Top goal scorer was Waghorn, 18 goals. The highest average rating for a player was Poyet. Not too bad considering, and we'll have a quick look at the stats of the players in his first season. So Poyet played the most games, 42, 18 goals for Waghorn, and assists Barry Mackay. How did his loan players get on? So he gave Maitland-Niles 40 games, Bilbao gave him 31 games, Adapong 30, De Silva 24, Brannigan 20. So he does give youth a chance, but that essentially was the first season in Scottish football for Frank de Boer. So we're going to see how he gets on in the second season. So it wasn't a good end to the season for Frank de Boer. Rangers came 5th, 1 place below where they finished last season. Absolutely poor. Celtic retained the title. We can see Lee Griffiths was on fire. A couple of mentions in there for average ratings for Poyet and Lee Wallace, along with player of matches for Lee Wallace, but not good. Celtic probably going to, in this save, they would probably win 10 in a row. They're just unstoppable. Rangers were actually in Europe, but it wasn't a good turnout for Frank de Boer. He never finished the season. He got sacked in March, but Michael Laudrup took over. You can see the key player there was Poyet, one of his signings. Young Rob McCrory, hot prospect. And he's got a new vice-captain in Juanjo Cercoles. So where did it all go wrong? Well, it all went wrong from 2 defeats in the Cups to Celtic, and also getting knocked out of the group stages of the Europa League. Plus he spent quite a lot of money, which we'll go into in a minute. But just show you, basically Frank de Boer, he lasted till the 31st of March, 1 year and 300 days. Then Graham Murty took over, and he left his caretaker position after 21 days, and then they signed Michael Laudrup. So the players he signed, you can see spent $3 million on quite a lot of players. Nobody of note really, apart from, I would say, Carl McHugh is a good Scottish player. Good stats there, solid greens for the main points, heading, tackling, good solid sort of can play defence or sweeper. And Bonazzoli is quite a good player. Doesn't look at the stats, but he actually is the top goal scorer with 19, and he's joining another club, joining Hellas Verona. So you can see quite a lot of loan players there. Ben Sheaf as well, if you've never seen him, good all-round player. I'm playing with my Glasgow Rangers save at the moment, and he just gets better and better. But free transfer, he's quite good. But a lot of youth players there. He dug into the sort of Scottish youth, and I can see what he's trying to do, and if he probably longer at the club, he probably would have brought some really, really good young players through. But the English connection, the Italian connection, the Dutch connection for De Boer really worked well. Who did he let go? Well, Senderos, big wage player, Cinnamon, Jeffries, a lot of the youth prospects that were dubbed hot prospects all left. Andy Halliday, 205k to Heart of Midlothian. Rob Kiernan, free transfer. Jordan Rossiter, a steal at 2.1 million, now 4.1 million. Now he's moved to England, he'll be at England International. He'll be probably worth 12 million in the future. And Zach Rudden, a wonder kid at Rangers. He's on loan to Greenock Morton. And also Cranshaw, who never really makes it at Rangers, free transfer, and he's now a manager. But a poor end for Frank de Boer. A poor end. He never really got going. One season in Scottish football is not enough to make a mark, especially Rangers in the first season. It's really, really hard work. speaking from personal experience on this game, you don't have any money. Celtic, even though they're in Europe, are always on your case, as are the other clubs. The second season, you definitely need to make a mark, but it's definitely a failed experiment for Frank de Boer, as a lot of these experiments are. The managers who are top managers don't seem to last the distance. It'll be interesting to see how Michael Laudrup gets on. But so that was Frank de Boer at Rangers. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate any comments down below, what you would like to see next in our manager series or into the futures or hardest challenge series. There's loads and loads of content on the YouTube channel. My link for my channel and Twitter will be in the description below. And if you've not checked out the FM Scout website, then why not? There's loads of face packs, logos, tactics, real names fix. It's a one-stop shop for everything to do with Football Manager. And I've obviously got the new editor on there and the transfer update, unofficial transfer update. So it's a really, really good website. Be sure to check that out. But thanks for watching. As always, you guys have been great, and we'll see you on the next episode.